Do you want a poster?
I would love a poster. Thank you. Thanksgiving poster. It's a pretty cool poster.
You're a pretty cool poster.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
We watched Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
New movie. It was good.
It was really fun.
It was really good.
It was really
a lot
fun.
of fun.
So we're going to do a quick summary of the movie, not spoilers. Then we're going to Duke or Nuke it, and then we're going to jump into spoilers. There's a Black Friday thing at the beginning of the movie, and they're like, and there's a bunch of crazy people, and they're like, oh my God, it's Black Friday. I need to kill somebody to get this freaking waffle maker. Black Friday happens, and people are just dying. Like, it is, people are getting trampled. It is a mess. And then the next Thanksgiving,
Fast forward 1 year.
Yep, there's a guy, and he's like, you don't know who he is. He's Mr. Thanksgiving. John Carpenter. He's like, I'm just gonna kill everyone that's associated with this. That was just at the freaking, what's it called?
At the Black Friday,
Yeah,
the
but
Right Mart.
And he's just doing some killing, and there's some characters, they try to stop him, and it's fantastic in a good way. Like, not like a Scorsese way, but like as in this is a very nice, like, it. I think this will go down as a classic horror movie.
You know what you're getting. You know what you're getting.
I think this will stand the test of time as a classic.
I don't know about that. The characters were not three-dimensional.
They were not.
The characters and the character motivations were very basic.
It's very Scream.
Scream has better characters.
They do.
Scream. Okay, no one in this movie has anything on Neve Campbell.
Well, yeah, okay.
But this movie moves along at a brisk pace. Great gore effects.
And knew
nice tension. It knew exactly what it was. I'm sorry, I totally just...
No, you're good. Because the characters weren't very in-depth, but they knew that, and they used the stereotypes perfectly.
I mean, like, just the stuff they, like, say and do. It felt like an 80s movie or something. It felt like this shouldn't exist in this year.
Almost. It's updated. There's, cell phones and stuff. That plays a part, but
just, like, how it, like, feels and the things they, like, do. It's the little things.
It wasn't overbearing.
So, before we jump into spoilers, are we just duking and nuking it?
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Well, I mean, if a Duke is I recommend it, then 100% it's a Duke.
Yeah, Duke for me.
That's
a surprise. Not a horror guy.
No, but that was a lot
high
of fun.
praise.
He's a Thanksgiving guy.
I'm starting to like slashers, and I get that reference too.
I
didn't get it.
That wasn't a reference.
Oh, I thought you were never mind.
I am as well duking this movie, but it's a theater Duke. Go see it in theaters.
Yeah.
I was surprised how many people were in the theater.
Almost fully packed. Really great time. Really great to see people go into the theaters. We pulled in, and the parking lot was full. And it just, I don't know. I was just happy seeing people go to the movies.
There was a bunch of children there seeing Trolls. I thought they were going to go see Thanksgiving. I didn't know. Okay, now we're in spoilers.
I loved the way the Black Friday at the beginning was portrayed with people just
the
yelling
worst.
F you, I hate you. Just a rampant mob. And then it gets started. The front door just gets knocked in. Somebody gets their throat cut on the glass.
Well, the door gets knocked in on top
of
someone.
Of a person.
And then just continually getting trampled while he's alive.
And the dude that gets his neck cut, he still gets his waffle iron.
Oh, that was
he's
so good.
Hobbling around trying to get the free waffle iron.
He dies curled around that waffle.
So desperate.
I think that's a metaphor.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think there's no symbolism in this movie. I was looking for it, and every time I tried to find something, it didn't come back.
But
who cares? They introduced something new that took my mind off of it. It's fine.
There were so many good kills. Like the lady who, like, her hair was getting pulled by the shopping cart.
That was so good.
Two crazy shoppers were like fighting with their shopping carts trying to move or whatever, and it like slammed into this lady's head that was on the ground. And then started pulling out her hair.
And the two ladies don't even realize it. They're just fighting over, like, the waffle iron.
They're just trying to get to the cash register, I guess, all the while our main characters are just standing on the cash registers filming the craziness. And that's kind of the catalyst. And then fast forward 1 year, and John Carver comes around.
And the first person he kills is it's the fat lady who works at the diner now.
Which was also one of the ladies that was on the cart.
Yes, so everybody...
She was in the very front of the Black Friday line.
Crazy.
She gets put in water, and then he slaps...
That's amazing.
Yeah.
He heats up her face and then puts her and then opens the freezer door and sticks her face to the freezer.
Oh, it's so good.
And that's not even her death.
No.
And then she goes and locks herself in the closet because she gets out because she rips her face off.
She rips her skin off.
And she couldn't unlock her phone because it was all bloody
Yeah, that was
Wouldn't
insane.
recognize her face.
because she was missing her face. Oh, that was.
I felt so bad because I laughed out loud in the theater.
Oh, I did.
When she blew up her phone and the face recognize sound just went da-darn.
And then she runs outside to get to her car, but then surprise, surprise, John Carvered is in her car.
Yeah.
And she runs straight. And at this point, I was like, "There's no way she's going to run left or right. We know the trope." But then she jumps in a dumpster.
That's kind of a smart idea. I'm not
It's
gonna
fine,
lie.
but the dumpster falls on her and cuts her.
Yeah, which is just absurd how easily
I don't know how that happened.
She got cut in half like butter. Before we move on to the next victim, he put the half of her like on top of the
Right Mart.
The Right Mart sign.
It's definitely later in the movie, but like throughout the entirety of the movie, though, I did appreciate how like the cops were like super involved and not stupid,
They were trying. They were trying their best.
and they were like, hey, they're targeting people from this night. Like,
Oh, they figured that out basically immediately.
Oh yeah.
and they were like, you need to like not do anything stupid and like go in pairs. Like, we're trying to figure this out.
Which they do, and there's some horror tropes where people leave and whatnot.
But it wasn't that bad though.
No,
I mean, a movie's got a movie.
Particularly thinking when they're at the school and she gets that text, and then instead of walking out to the cops and going, "Hey, I got this weird text. Come here for a second. Let's all go check this out." She just goes and walks on her own. That's the one point where I went,
Yeah.
I don't think it was that weird though.
really?"
Because like, I don't know. I feel like I would fall for that.
Whatever.
That's
It's
that's
part
a
of the
nit-
horror movie.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Anyways, second kill. Security guard that literally ran away like a scaredy cat and did nothing that night. That was insane. That kill was awesome.
You know, that was a good little thing you said there. Scaredy cat.
I loved this scene.
Oh, this was great.
I loved the production design of his apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So he's getting ready to. Because again, they've caught on immediately to what's going on, and he's like, "Oh, they're coming for me. I got to get out of here." So he's got like his passport. He's ready to go. He puts his passport down on the table, looks away, looks back. His passport's gone. But I loved him flipping through, moving his TV remote, and he's got like just some magazine or something, and just like, just normal everyday trinkets that we've got around here that I'm just so used to, like, I dropped something. I gotta look under all this shit that I've got. And then his cat, and he's got a cat tree, and he's talking to his cat, and he's asking his cat, "Where the guy's in my house? Cat, where's the guy?" And the cat like looks, and he's like, "Oh, is the guy over there?" No, the guy's behind him.
What did he stab him with?
A turkey carver.
Turkey
That was
carver.
wonderful.
And then he decapitates him.
Insane.
And then
With,
he decapitates.
It was like a wire.
This movie delivers the goods, damn it.
Oh, it was
It
so
really
good.
delivers the
The
goods.
kills were just so good.
So good. And yes, in the
And-
most fun way.
So he takes his head, puts it in a bag, and on his way out, sees that the cat is hungry.
Oh my gosh.
So turns back around and gets that cat some food.
Feeds the cat, pets the cat, and walks out with the owner's head.
I
And
love
that's
it.
where we find out that he's making a ritual for all the
He's making
people.
like a Thanksgiving dinner with like all of like the victims and the
All-
bodies. and-
the parts that he's been collecting.
He's
so
got
the
he's got
dude's head.
name tags at every place,
Yeah.
and he's slowly filling the plates.
So there's a rival high school, and one of these guys was in the front with the lady who ran the diner, our first kill. And he goes to watch a cheerleader just do some cheerleading tricks.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, that
What was
weird.
that?
I don't know.
I think it was going to turn into like a sex thing.
Oh,
I
I got
definitely was, but it didn't get close. Like, I thought it was going to go on for longer. They get to this just in a dark gym. The cheerleader turns on one light and it's just like,
that. A trampoline.
watch me do some trampoline tricks. And there's close-ups of her feet, so you know something's going to happen with this trampoline. And as she's turning around doing tricks and she starts like stripping, the killer comes up and just turns the dude's head backwards.
Fantastic.
You cannot see. And then
He's just sitting there.
yeah,
And then then we get a wonderful wide shot from a reverse shot from behind the cheerleader, where you see in the background the dude with his head just turned backwards, and he's sitting straight up with the backwards head.
and then she's still bouncing on this trampoline, and then finally she lands and a knife comes up,
Oh.
and she just falls on the knife with her foot, and then it just very quickly fall, knife, fall, knife.
And then after that, he goes after Yulia.
The girl with the fantastic father?
Yeah, she's got a Russian dad who I thought he was like gonna be like a Russian mobster.
Oh, he might have been. We don't know.
Nope.
No, he had like no depth, but that
He had
like made
he
him
was just like, Yulia, we are going to Florida.
That's it. That's all we know about him.
And then she's like, I guess I'm going to Florida now.
The girl's boyfriend was like, that's the most I've ever heard of that guy. I was like,
It's the
what?
most I've ever talked to him.
Even though they weren't even talking.
That little comment made it so much better.
So then he follows her home and gets her dad and gets her. How does he get her? Oh,
He uses the corn things.
Oh my god.
He sticks the things that you use to stick on a corn cob to eat. He sticks them in her ears.
And you know how he got him too? He tranquilized the police officer, and then the corn rolls, and he stops with his foot, and he pulls it out of the corn.
And when he does that and pokes her in the ears, she's on a call. So he takes the phone and just like shows the kill to her boyfriend and then shows it back and then goes back to his face and just gives him a little wave.
I love the ringing they did after they got her in the
The
ears.
sound design, yeah. And then her friends come over to try to save her, and there's kind of a showdown. Her friends have acquired a gun through probably my favorite character.
Yeah.
Who's just a side character who's just like, apparently he's obsessed with Shark Tank and just trying all these different side hustles. So he's selling alcohol and just like having house parties. He's like 26, by the way, and he's doing this for high schoolers. And these high schoolers come over and he's got all these guns and he hooks them up with a gun. So they're doing this showdown and it goes way wrong.
I thought he was going to be the killer, actually.
Really?
Really?
For a little bit, I was kind of like, it could be him.
I thought he was too quirky. And
Yeah, I
especially
agree.
once they showed us all his weapons, I was like, no way.
Well,
Yeah.
there was a point where Scrubs or Scuba, and the gun didn't work because he had the safety on.
Yeah.
But I thought it was the quirky guy, and he gave him like a bad gun.
Oh,
And
really?
but then there was safety. I was like, oh, okay, it's not him.
See, I was just convinced because I was like, well, the killer is using
The axe,
axes in a lot of melee weapons, which is so not
big axe,
McCarthy?
McCorky, or Corky?
McCorky.
Was it actually that?
It was McCarthy or something.
Quirky. I thought it was like
Something like that.
I like McCorky, but it's just not his MO. It's his MO to use guns, I guess, because he's got like a blunderbuss, which is
And he just seemed like a guy that just didn't care.
he didn't know he's still trying to find himself.
Yeah, he's in his own world.
he pulls out this golden pistol. He's like, this is how you kill a grizzly bear.
He's got a whole different movie going on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
His side hustle is a whole different movie. Anyway, in the showdown, goes horribly wrong. The John Carver turns on a table saw and pushes Yulia on it, and
Which goes for a bit.
Oh my god.
this might be
it's-
the most heart-wrenching thing is
Dude.
when Scuba is holding her body and her intestines are just out, and he's just like,
What
"What do I do?" But then it cuts, and then we're back into fun times.
Yeah.
So it doesn't last very long, but it's okay.
That kill was brutal. And she technically wasn't quite dead, right? Was that her later in the
No.
fridge?
No, that was the cheerleader.
Got it.
I was surprised she lived.
Apparently, that was intentional. I guess
Yeah.
because he wanted to keep her alive because he wanted to use her blood as wine.
Yeah.
It was bag wine.
It was.
It was bag wine.
It was bag wine.
Human body bag wine.
I thought honestly the most like effed up thing that happened was the when the mom or the stepmom of the final girl escaped, and she was like trying to run away. Which honestly, it might be the next kill, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll build it up first. So the stepmom, so the guy
The parade. The parade. That happens after the parade.
Okay,
We
okay.
forgot the awesome decapitation.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Okay, so after that kill with the one girl and Scuba, Scuba.
I'm sorry. There's even a scene in the movie where they're just like, "Why is your name Scuba?" Like
And he says, I don't even know the names he said, but just the guy went, yeah, Scuba's better. We're just calling you Scuba. Yeah. It's like, okay.
because his last name was Diving, and I forget what his first name was, so they called him Scuba.
Yeah, and they were just like, that's a better name.
Yeah.
I don't,
So
It's fine.
Okay,
I loved it. I loved
Thanksgiving
it.
parade, and so the main characters are on a float. They're trying to set up the killer because they're like, okay, he's gonna come after us. Let's get all the cops involved, put him in the warehouse and whatever. We're gonna trap him. We're out there in the middle of the parade, and out of nowhere, this clown comes and just takes an axe to this turkey And
Well, okay,
dude,
hold on.
this turkey mascot.
Yeah, it's
And
a
he-
guy.
Dude,
It's a guy in a mascot
Yeah.
costume,
And
and
he's
he gets
just-
decapitated.
He's just dancing. saying,
He's just doing his thing.
Happy Thanksgiving. And he
did
just
say that.
He's coming up with an axe and just whoop, he's just gone. His head's just gone.
And I just want to talk about how I just loved how the decapitation was shot, because this is how you know everybody's having fun. Is you've got some kind of apparatus on top of somebody, and it's kind of squirting blood out of the stump, and the actor inside of it's just going whoa, and then falls over. It's so great,
it's
dude.
great.
It's so great.
One of the
Yes.
floats has this giant boat on it with like the tip of the
Mayflower, yeah.
boat.
Oh my god!
And the car stops really abruptly, and the tip of the boat goes through the driver's head.
It kills a grandpa, and he's got the granddaughters in the front seat. Wild.
So, okay, but there's this post through this guy's head, and you see that, and then it cuts away to something else, but then it cuts back to that shot, and it's just a flood of, like, blood dripping off the thing. Jack and I looked at each other because we were like, a human
What?
body does not have that
Yes.
much blood
No,
in it.
it was literally
They're just
like-
pouring it.
It was just like a fountain.
It's like Evil Dead 2, like, territory.
So then the next kill is that. So he captures like the final girl, her dad, and her stepmom, and Scuba, and
Hey, get scuba.
and the
Jessica, I think, is the main girl.
Okay,
I think her name's
okay,
Jessica,
yeah,
right?
and I believe you. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
the stepmom is like getting prepared like a turkey on the thing, and she wakes up, and then she tries to escape.
He's basting her and putting pepper
Salt.
on her, salting her.
He's wearing a little
Parsley.
apron.
He's wearing a little apron. He's got the hors d'oeuvres all around.
Oh, actually,
her.
before we keep going, I thought this was really funny. So the poster's this, right?
Yeah.
And it's the parade, kind of like this is the only,
yeah.
and this is the only time he's not dressed like this.
Oh,
Interesting.
You're right, because he's dressed as a clown at the
Yeah.
parade.
Yeah, that's the one time he doesn't wear the John Carver costume.
I thought that was kind of funny. So the stepmom escapes for a second, and she goes up to the fridge. She opens the fridge, I guess, to look for something to fight with, and she finds the cheerleader girl who got like stabbed in the foot and stuff earlier, who's just in a bag, which that already freaks me out. Oh my gosh.
Well, what's funny is she's in a bag next to a bottle of wine.
And she, because like the girl starts to scream for a second, and he's just like, hey, shh, like, or she's like, shh, I'm gonna free you, give me a second. Just shuts the door. That doesn't happen.
No. Oh, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, no, that girl does not get saved, and she goes into the next room, and she is waiting for John Carver to come and get her, and he's picked up a pitchfork at this point, and there's an opening in the room, and she sees the tip of the pitchfork. The pitchfork.
Oink.
I thought this might have been like the most tense shot for me, was when it cuts to like her angle and you just see the tips of the pitchfork and they're just sitting there.
Oh,
Because you know exactly where he is and all you can see is the weapon. And she can't make her move because she'll just jump right into the pitchfork.
mm-hmm.
So she's got to wait. But then he turns around and leaves. But he doesn't actually. He just shuts the door and then stabs the pitchfork through the wall.
I know. I
Oh.
saw that coming. Like, as soon as he
Absolutely.
walked
But it was
away, I
still
like,
pretty
it's-
good,
It's
though.
coming
But
through the wall.
I was so happy that they didn't
Kill
do like a... They didn't have her go, woo, and then just walk around the corner and get stabbed.
Yeah.
She waits a tick and to see what's actually going on. She doesn't move.
Because the killer is like smart, but he's like not.
He's not a genius.
He's not a genius. Like
But
he
he's
like,
seen movies.
So then she tries to run out like to escape, and he just wham, just javelins her.
That was... We simultaneously went, oh!
That's one thing. He might not be like a genius, but he has clean kill. Like he knows how to kill.
Then he drags her back in and bastes her up, just slaps her in the oven, and she gets cooked alive.
Yeah, that was horrifying.
That's
God.
hor-
That was
is
horrifying.
so scary.
And that I was wondering, they kind of teased it, and I was like, are they going to show her, instead of, cutting away and just implying that she's being cooked, like Return of the Living Dead style, where he puts himself in the crematorium?
That's so sad.
That one's really sad because he does it to himself. But this one, you see her fingers shrink and
Like her cheeks,
bake,
like
and yeah. And I was like, wow, they are going all
Yeah.
out. And I loved what they did with the heat. The whole picture gets kind of wavy.
So now we're back to the whole setup of like live streaming this table because he has now collected all of his victims and they're all trapped the live victims and the dead victims are all at this table.
And he makes his speech about his motives, which are that he's just mad about last year and that those guys, Evan, his name was Evan, the jock, that was filming everybody at last year's Black Friday, inspired him to do this, and he's live streaming it.
And he's got like a bunch of
this
the
is
characters. He's got
crazy.
like 4 of the other characters like tied up around the table, still alive.
Yeah, so he takes the jock and is like, all right, everyone, what are you thankful for Thanksgiving? And he takes the rope out of his mouth and then just lays him down and is like, are you ready to be famous or something? And he
said, no, it's a great line. He's like, you're right. No one gets subtlety anymore. You got to beat him over the head with it. And then he takes a meat mallet and just bashes his brains in. And again, no punches pulled. You see it all.
Yeah.
And it's I'm pretty sure it's practical. If not practical, it's practical with maybe some CG touch-ups, which is totally fine. The effects are at least 95% practical. This isn't CGI blood, which, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jack.
I did it.
Well, then it pans up to the phone, and it's just like a ton of likes.
Yeah, that was
that's
messed up.
Yeah.
Nowadays people are getting like Jeffrey Dahmer mugs and romanticizing that stuff. As I'm wearing a Let's Summon Demon shirt.
Like how
pentagrams on it.
Do you think people would actually like that shit?
Yes.
I don't know. That's crazy.
Yes. In real life, yes.
Messed up. So messed up.
Welcome to the world.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I mean, we are like raving about this
It's
murder
a
film.
Yeah, she got hit in the back with a javelin. Yeah.
No, it's not like I'm Facebook living, like me
That is
killing
true.
Blaine.
And now he brings out dinner.
Kathleen is her name.
She was the lady that got cooked alive.
Yep. And he cuts off a piece of her thigh and serves it to her husband.
Oh, but
And he's got rope in his mouth and he pukes through the rope.
Yeah.
That's so good.
That was rough, man.
well, she's like
That's where everybody in the theater went, oh!
that was brutal. But I like it's crazy how he had her like cooked and then up like a turkey.
It's perfectly golden.
Yeah,
It looked good.
It looked like a turkey. It did
Yeah.
not look good. Take that back. I'm throwing up like
It was a good aesthetic prop in a movie, but in
That's
real
what,
life,
I'm sorry, wait, what did you, oh,
What
no.
was our next skill after that?
well, the final girl escapes with scuba because she got like a lucky ring and it had like a little knife in it because it was one of Quirky.
McCarthy, McCorky, gave her a ring. He said, this saved my dad. This was my dad's. He said it saved him in Iraq. Turns out this ring's got a little blade in it.
It's awesome.
And she can use it to free herself. So she frees herself and Scuba, and they escape, and John Carver ensues chase.
And Scuba gets hit and he's down on the ground, but he doesn't die. And then they get chased, and then long story short, you think it's her old boyfriend. And it turned out to be the sheriff. You think it's the boyfriend, and then you think he's died, but he didn't, and because the sheriff like saves the final girl. But
and then the classic, she's the final girl's with the sheriff, and then she looks at his pants and is like, oh shit.
Well,
She ran through the forest like
she
I
ran
did.
through a field with those stupid, annoying
Yeah.
barbs that get stuck on your clothes. And she sees as he's walking out those barbs on his clothes. And
She's
just
like,
freezes, and he knows exactly what's up too. He's like,
shit.
I've been found out.
and he's like, I'm gonna kill you right here, and blah blah blah. Nothing's gonna happen to you, or no one's gonna know. And she's like, actually, I'm live streaming this. I'm doing A Boys season 3. Look at that.
And then we get a chase because Bobby comes back, and does he throw a brick through a window? Is that what he throws something through a window, and it hits the sheriff. So they escape in Bobby's tow truck, but the sheriff ties the tow cable around a post in the warehouse, so they can't escape. But it's okay, because Jessica mentioned earlier that she had to pack a blunderbuss for a commercial that she was filming, and it scared her because she almost blew her hand off. And she's packed this blunderbuss, and she shoots this one of the giant inflatables from the parade that they inflated with flammable gas. And they blow the place to smithereens, and the explosion pushes the tow truck through the doors of the warehouse in one of the, It's straight out of a canon film from the 80s, like Action USA. That shot was so ridiculous and over the top. I loved it.
So at this point, they believe the sheriff has died.
He said he got incinerated.
Incinerated.
Well, they're just like, at the end, they're like,
can't find a body.
can't find him. Everything's just ash.
Where's Michael Myers?
Sequel time.
He disappeared. I don't know.
No one could survive that.
It was fun. The theater we were in was pretty fun. I mean,
Very fun. Some dude at the beginning said, $100, it's the deputy.
and he was wrong.
So somebody lost $100. That's a dude in the front row. We were in the back row, so we don't know who that was, but it was pretty fun being in an enthusiastic audience.
Not who it
where
was.
everybody was just having a blast. Who?
It was our nemesis, Canadian Climb.
Canadian Climb. Were you in our theater?
Do you celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada Climb?
No, they don't. That'll do it for Thanksgiving.
We recommend seeing it.
Definitely go see it.
You
in
get
the
a free
theater.
poster.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I took
We got
2.
a lot of free posters actually because the people working there, we were like, "Can we have some posters?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"Why are you even bothering asking us? Just take the posters."
Like and subscribe. Yeah.
Let us know if you see the movie. Comment below.
All right. Hi, Blaine. And now it's done. Wait, now Blaine, emerge. All right, now we're done.